welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we're here to talk about the movie Haunted Mansion. This is a brand spanking new readaptation of the beloved classic attraction at Magic Kingdom. The ride has always been considered a favorite of mine since I was very little, so you can imagine how excited I am to see the ride to get its proper filmic justice after watching the not-so-good version from 2003. Surely this new remake can't be as bad as that one, can it? Well, let's find out and talk about it. The movie story follows a single mother and her son who both move into their newly bought mansion only to find out it is haunted. In an effort to exorcise the many spirits, they hire a ragtag team that all includes a paranormal tour guide, a sidekick, a priest, and a historian. Well, surprisingly enough, I actually had a really fun time with this new movie. It is safe to say that it is a big improvement over the film that released 20 years ago. I mean, like a day and night difference. This new movie is an actual, self-respected adaptation of the enriching story of the dark attraction. If you really want to get more invested into the lore of the Haunted Mansion, there are a couple of lines of comic books, with one done by Marvel, and there's another done by SLG. I've read both lines of comic books, and they're both super fun. I highly recommend checking them out. Anyways, it doesn't go without saying that this movie isn't perfect by any means. Now, of course, I'll talk about that later. For now, let's talk about the many great things the movie has going for it, whether it be how spooky fun it is, the awesome fan service references, tremendous production design, cool looking visual effects, some great acting, and also an enjoyable written story. After the critical failure of the 2003 movie, I've always wanted an actual good scary movie based around the Haunted Mansion. For a long time, Guillermo del Toro was on board to bring his visionary style to write and direct, but unfortunately things happened and it got shelved. A few years go by and the project was revived, but to be written by Katie Dippold, who is known for Parks and Recreation, The Heat, and the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. I will admit that my excitement was hampered, but I was at least happy we were getting a new Haunted Mansion movie. Initially thinking that the scare factor was going to be watered down, I was pleasantly surprised by how actually spooky it was. It captures the haunting charm of the ride perfectly, and it felt like a fever dream watching it. It's not overly scary, but it does feel like a gateway horror movie for anyone that wants to bridge over into the genre. Comparing this movie to the Disney attraction, there are a bunch of fan service references to the actual ride itself. I'm not going to mention all of them, of course, but I will say that most avid fans will be able to spot everything. It is worth noting that the movie does have the iconic stretching room, the attic, the never-ending hallway, certain iconic ghosts, and so on. I literally had so much fun reliving the attraction vicariously through this movie. This leads me to how good the film's production design is. Not only was I fascinated by the exterior shots of the mansion, but the set design for the interior shots were most exquisite. It's literally almost a perfect recreation of the ride, and then some. When it comes to the special effects, well, there's plenty of CGI to go around. It does look good mostly, but it also does come across as a little bit too glossy. I was kind of hoping for more practicality, but what are you going to do? As for the talent, we have an ensemble of great stars who all include LaKeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, Tiffany Haddish, Rosario Dawson, Danny DeVito, and Jamie Lee Curtis. I enjoyed everyone in this movie, but if anyone stood out the most to me, it would have to be LaKeith Stanfield. I did not expect the tremendous acting from him in this particular movie, and he is the movie's biggest selling point. I was actually impressed with the writing, for the most part. I very much enjoy the movie's compelling storyline and the story arc for LaKeith Stanfield's character. I won't spoil anything, but I will say that I was captivated by his character development. I do also think that the comedy could have improved. Some jokes got a chuckle out of me, and there were some jokes that just didn't quite stick the landing. If there's anything else that bothered me, it would probably have to be the somewhat anticlimactic final standoff during the film's last act, and probably how the movie was a little bit too long. For what it's worth, I just think that the movie could have been maybe 15 minutes shorter or something. Other than that, this movie is still very enjoyable. Overall, Haunted Mansion is a sensational, spectacular movie that is super incredibly fun, regardless of its shortcomings. The movie had potential to be the perfect adaptation of the classic Disney attraction, but this is about as good as you're going to get for now. If anything, this film is a good chunk above average at best, leaving plenty of room for improvement. I give this movie a B+. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up with my real reviews.